So let's start. Let's start at the very beginning. And are you in tune? Do you know? Let's.
I'm not very good at tuning right now.
Let's get the tuner. Okay, the tuner was in. I'll just grab it.
Are we free today?
Go back to the D. Bring it up a little. You check your C. Down. Okay, let me see. How do I? Okay. All right, are you ready? Mm-hmm. And we actually don't have to have us ourselves. I'm going to turn mine down a little bit. You play yours for a second. Okay, let's check your tone. Let's get some highs off of it. Play. Yeah, I rolled off some of the highs on it. Let's see. That's fine. Okay. All right. So now what we're going to do. What we're going to do is we're going to just start at the very beginning, and we're going to, you know how it goes. So he plays, we play. And once we pick it up, we just keep playing, right? And we don't want to listen to that. But we're going to go through this really fast. We'll jump around. But, you know, when you work on this, I would start at the very beginning and I would, you know, I would do bits and pieces, right? Come on. There we go. Play.
A 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3.
Now look at this. There you go. You can turn around though if you want to. No, towards me. It's always nice to look at your face. Then, is that the pause? That's the pause. Okay. Then what we're going to do is let's go down to, I don't have glasses. Let's go down to the 2 phrase down here on number 5. Okay. So he's going to play 2 combinations and we're going to copy. Okay.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Suggestion for you. There's a difference between doing this. Oh. Doing this. And doing this. What am I doing different?
Swinging.
I'm swinging. Because this is swing music, right? If you're stiff, it's going to sound stiff. So if you want it to swing, you have to make sure that you get your knees moving, right? You don't see guys in a jazz band. You never see guys in a jazz band go like this, right? They're always right, because they're feeling the right. So something to think about. All right. So now what we're going to do is let's go over to track 7. We're going to do this. Okay.
A 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Anyway, that's his example. But let's go back for a second. Because he.
2, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, that's the. Okay. All right. So anyway, so you understand what to do here. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to track 17. And we're going to play combinations of this stuff like we did. Okay, but now we have to make it up ourselves. Well, see, the other thing too is the reason I say that is because we're not doing anything but an open string. Because remember how we talked about last time that you don't have to play a lot of notes to have a good solo, right? A guitar player can go wow 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 wow, and the band's going boom boom doo 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 bow wow doo 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 wow wow ba bo 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 ba 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 ba, and they could just be doing that over and over and over and not really do anything during the solo, but everybody goes, oh, it's so cool, right? They do, right. Don't they? They say, oh, that is so cool. All right, so I'll play rhythm and then you play rhythm. You don't have to necessarily play what I play, or you can. Ready? Okay. Track 17. Now, track 17 is cool because it gives us the whole enchilada as far as a band, and it keeps going.
1, 2.
So I'll start.
1, 2, 3.
Okay. I'm going to do 2 bars. Okay. Let's do it again.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
So now what we're going to do is we're going to start doing the thing where we add the notes, right? Okay, here we go. So we're going to just play the scale along with it. So that's track 8. Oops. Oopsie, what's going on? Okay.
A 1. A 1, 2. A 1, 2, 3.
And then we're going to keep going. So now, don't look.
A 1.
And see if you can do the stuff by ear, right?
2, 3.
Good. Good, good, good. Okay, then it's going to continue going on, right?
2.
But now, let's go down to 13. Because I'm skipping around a little bit. Okay.
A 1, 2. A 1, 2, 3.
Now, what is it really doing right there? What it's saying is, we better know our darn scale, right? Because then what happens is so we got to sing that. Our ear has to be so good, and we have to be able to sing that in our head and translate it into our hand. Where now we're singing it with our hand, right? And that becomes our voice. But the thing is, we have to be so familiar with what it is that we're listening to, and we have to be really observant, right? Okay. So then, la la la. Let's see. We might as well do a little bit more because it gets a little tricky. Okay, so next one. Track 14.
A 1, 2. A 1, 2,
So that lick was this. That lick was this. It was. Wait. Try it with me. So it's. Yeah, see? Your ear is really good. But now we're going to go to track 17 again, right? Now we're going back to track 17 and we're going to play back and forth from each other again. So each of us will do 2 bars. But now we're going to do the pentatonic scale with the rhythm structure, right? I know. And the more you do it, it's really interesting. After playing with you the other day, I had a gig right after it. And even just by playing with you and doing it, all of a sudden I noticed I was doing different things on my solos. And I was going, that was really cool what you did. So even though you think that what we're doing, it could be considered very simple, what it does is it opens your brain up to think of things in a different way. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that's cool. You know, it allows you to be more expressive. Okay, here we go.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
You just started going out of the, no, that was good. You started going outside the box. So now what we're going to do is this, because I was waiting for you to do that. Now what happens is we go, I like that, but I wanted to do more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write out the pentatonic scale, but I'm going to do it on all the strings. Right? Mm-hmm. So if we look at this, okay, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now our notes are D. Okay, so if we do the regular part, and we go D, F, G, A, C, and D, right? So we've got those. But now what we're going to do is we're going to go down below. So we know we have a C. We know we have an A. And we have a G. And that's about as low as, well, no, that's actually not as low as we can go. So if I did that, but then I'd have to write in viola clef. So I'll do that too. Or maybe I'll just keep going down. What would be easier for me to write it in treble clef? But we don't ever go down that far. Okay, I'll figure it out. Okay, so we go D, then we have an F, then we have an A. No, we have a G, we have an A, and we have no B. Okay, so this is on the first 4 strings. So let's start with that, okay? So now you and I are going to play that all the way up and all the way back, okay? So So starting with the G. Now, a little trick for you. Normally the scale starts on the D, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you could do this. You could start here, go D, F, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you could go from the F, you could go down to the G. Because it goes D, F, G, A, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we'd go D, F, G, A. Okay, let's try that octave for a second, okay? Do that again. Okay, and then now we'll do this octave. So we go D. Now, if we started on this D, if we went D, F, A, or, what do I say? D, F, G, A, right? Then we'd have to go from there and we'd have to go to C right there, wouldn't we? But this would be our starting note, okay? So start from here, go there, and then go there and there, right? Okay, so if we go D, now go down to C natural. So if you went, right? Let's do it again. Ready? And we'll swing it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right there on the D. Right? Do it again. Ready? And. Okay. Now we're going to do the lower octave. So we go D, F, and then we go down there. Right? Ready? And swing it. Ready? And. Do it again. Ready? And. Ooh, do it again. Ready? And. Yeah. So now what we're going to do is this. We're going to go ba da 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 bo da 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 dee da 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 dee da 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 ba da ba da ba da ba da. Right? And when we get to here, we're going to go there. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Should be interesting, huh? You ready? So we go 1, 2, here we go. Oh, sorry, that's my fault. No, we have to start on the D because we have to start at the beginning of the scale, right? Ready, and. Yeah, she did it. Okay, let's do it again. 1, 2, ready, and. Start. So we start. Let me put a mark on that. We start right there. Right?
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, ready, and. Let's do it again. We'll go slower. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then what you would do is you would go backwards. So if I did it with track 17 and practice it.
1, 2,
1, 2, here we go. You get what I'm doing? Yeah, let's do it again. It's not easy because it's like your eyes are going all over the place. 2, 1, 2, ready, and. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? Before we do that, let me do this. I'll put that down. Yeah, I'm going to make your life easier. Because you're mentally trying to translate at the same time, huh? Because I'm mentally trying to translate at the same time, so I really get it. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to write out since we know what we want to do now. So if I'm doing D, F, then we go down to, isn't this easier to read? A, C, D, F, G, A, C, D, F, G, A, C, to D. So this is the octave, right?
Mhm.
There we go. And that's the octave. And then we go. So that's going up. And then going down. And we'll go D, C, A, G, F, D, C, A, G, F, D, C, G, F. There we go. It's really fun once you start getting the hang of it. There we go. And then from here, there's our octave. There's our octave. Let's just try playing that without the music for a second. Okay? And we'll just play a straight scale, okay? So we go 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, sorry. 3, 4. See? And then down. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So do it from right here. Now I gotta make that D look like a D. Now it's kind of like a no. Okay. So, going back to 17.
A 1,
You ready?
2, a 1, 2, 3.
Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna swing it. 2, a 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, and yeah. And then you go, right? So now you have access to 4 of the strings, right? Because, well, we're not going to worry about the C string today. Yeah? Does that feel good? Now, then what you want to do is you want to go through the rhythm section part. You want to go through this section part with just the 8th note, or the 6 notes. And then start practicing the scale on those 4 strings and start messing around with the solo. Do you want to play around with the solo for a second? Or you want to have time?
Yes.
I mean, no, I'm saying, do you want to have time at home to work on it?
I don't know.
Okay, let's do it
Quick
together. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. It's not going to kill us, right?
Mhm.
Okay, but now you can look at the notes when you're doing the jam. So, but it gives you an idea of the notes that you can do. So if I did this, I'm going to start on number 17 for a second, and I'm just going to show you for a second.
2,
So I could go.
2, 3.
I'll do 2 bars, you do 2 bars. Ready?
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
The idea. But always remember that in this key, the F is a natural sound, right? Yeah. Now, so there's a bunch of stuff to do in this particular book. The other thing that you want to think about in terms of improvisation, they always say this, is whenever you're starting to work on trying to play by ear and working on improvisation, what you want to do is you want to start to think in terms of playing a basic melody. Now, what's a song that everybody knows?
Twinkle, twinkle, little star.
Okay, so now, Twinkle Twinkle. Okay. Play me Twinkle Twinkle. Okay, now, do you notice that the first 2 notes, okay, you have to start thinking about it in terms of interval spaces, okay? What is your violin tuned in? Do you know?
Like the
What's the interval that the D and the A string are? Do you know?
Yeah.
That's right. Okay. The instrument is tuned in fifths. Twinkle Twinkle starts in fifths. Okay. That's your first clue. So the beginning of Twinkle starts in fifths. So now, so what would happen if I said instead of you starting on an A, because you start on an A, right? So you just played, if I went, right? You're in the key of A. So you know how to do it in the key of A. So what happens if, okay, so I'm going to put the key of A down. So that means that your starting note is an A, right? One thing that you always want to know is that if you're in a particular key, what is your starting note in relationship to the first chord that you hear? So I'm going to put you in the key of D. Okay? So now, you're in the key of D now. So if I did this, well, what's going to be your starting note for Twinkle Twinkle?
D.
Okay, then play for me. Okay, now, so you just learned it in the key of D, right? So now, we're going to learn it in the key of, G. Because see, what happens is this. You know, a singer, those darn singers, a singer will say, "It's too high for me to sing. I can't sing that. Can you change the key for me?" Right? Can we go down a half step? Well, what happens when we go down a half step on a violin? You either go down to a flat or up to a sharp, right? And then it screws us all up. Because sometimes I've had to play a song in like the key of C sharp. You know what that is? That's like everything sharp. That means your whole hand is moved, right? So what we want to do is we want to get it so that you feel comfortable playing in every key on a variation of a song. You get what I'm saying? Okay, so now we're going to do it in G. Okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, and. Well, that wasn't very hard. But now I'm going to give you a challenge. Instead of playing it in the key of A on the A string, now you're going to have to start on the A on the G string. Are you ready? Mm-hmm. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, ready, and. Okay, but you see what I'm saying? So what the exercise is I'm going to give you 4 keys. Okay? We'll do the key of A, key of D, key of G, key of C, and the key of F, because that's 1 flat, right? And the key of F. And you're going to play Twinkle in all the different keys. Okay? 5 keys. Now, the next thing I want you to do, once you get to the point where you feel comfortable doing that, then change the octave. Right? Now, why am I having you do this? Another reason is this. Is because for me, if you ask me to play a song, if I have heard it, or if you sing it to me, I can play it. Because like how we talked about before, our hands become our voice, right? And so what happens is that then all I'm doing is I'm hearing the relationship of the interval spaces. Okay, let's do this for a second. Okay. Pick a song that you think I might have heard. Like pick a Disney song or pick something from a musical or something.
You know Chicago, the musical?
I've heard parts of it, so.
I forgot what the song's called. Oh, great. Oh, okay. See, now I can't think of anything.
Okay. Musicals. What are some musicals? Okay, I'll just name a bunch. There's Gypsy. What's it called?
How Far I'll Go from Moana.
Oh, I don't know the song. But if you played it for me, can you play it for me?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
What are you playing?
It just was doing automatic.
Well, you could play whatever. It doesn't matter.
Psycho Killer.
Psycho Killer, qu'est-ce que c'est? I love that song. That's how I go to it.
Can you play that one?
Right? And then I love that song. I've never played that before. But you get what I'm doing is as I'm singing it in my head, and I even went right? And what happens is if your voice is moving that way, what'll happen is you'll do the inflections like right? And that's the whole purpose of it, is to get so that you listen to a melody, you can play the melody, and then you can transpose it. So what if I took that? Sagokila, qu'est-ce que c'est? Okay, pick a note.
D.
D. Okay. Now pick a different finger note. Pick a finger note.
B.
B. Oh. Okay. Right? So being able to take that basic melody and being able to go, a G, do it on A, do it on a C sharp. It gets you so that you have flexibility in your hand. Okay. That's a lot I just gave you. So I think violin wise, I think that's good. Okay. Now, do we want to go continue on and work on ukulele? But because it's like 12:15 right now, so we've already done an hour. Sizes you could do. Now watch. I'm going to take the very first one. Okay. Let's just take the very first one. Did you know that this really is an Irish song? You didn't know that, did you? Or did you know that that was a famous jazz piece that was written by Benny Goodman? Not really, but we're going to just say, right? Okay. Now, if I went like this and I went, the original exercise is, oh shoot, I did this wrong. But it's going to poke me. It's going to poke me, man. Okay, let me fix this. This.
So I can bounce this over and turn it on now. Kiki loves it, honey.
Yep.
Am I done?
Yep.
Okay.
He's singing the Hallelujah chorus in his head now. Okay, so now I'm doing the basic wolf art. So if I go, you know what I'm doing. Okay. So say I want to play jazz, right? If I'm going, right? Or I could go, oh, I'm turning it into kind of an Irish piece, right? So just by the way that you attack the rhythms can totally change the vibe of a piece. So you could take whatever exercise that you're doing and turn it into something really fun. Okay? So the thing is that a lot of this, okay, which one are you on? A lot of this, oh, I would love doing this. Why? Because, oh, remember the da 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 dee da da dum da 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 dee da 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 da. Well, if I went, well, wait. You know what I mean? All of a sudden, it turns into an Irish piece just by playing the 6/8 with a little bit of swing, right? So, just another way to look at your exercises, even your scales. You know, practice your scales with different kinds of rhythms. Put those rhythms in and do it in triplets. So if I'm doing a scale and I go, then it becomes swallowtail jig. Right? Anyway, just another thought. Okay.
I'm gonna